2021 New York Jets 1-15. They could not tank right. They could not win right. They fired their coach. They fired their GM. They traded off their franchise quarterback they drafted just 3 years ago. How'd they do in the 21-21 draft? Who was their best draft pick?
I'm going to go with their second first-round pick, Alijah Vera-Tucker, offensive lineman, USC, 6'4", 315. They obviously needed to build their offensive line. To me, even though they drafted a quarterback early on, that's great. But if he's getting killed and his confidence is getting destroyed, that equals bust. So I give him credit to go out to try to give Zach Wilson some protection. Vera-Tucker can play guard or he can play tackle. Again, this is becoming a lot more common thing where you're seeing these guys that can swing from guard to tackle. Versatility is like number one key these days. And I think we've seen that move now for about the last 10 years to a lot of teams in the NFL, moving to those guys that they can plug and play, again, because injuries happen, that they can move these guys around and not lose much consistency. So I really like this pick. They can put him, if they put him at tackle, they've got some pretty good bookends then with him and Mekhi Becton.
All right. Colmes, what about you? Best pick for the New York Jets?
Yeah, I'm going to stay right at their first draft pick with Zach Wilson. I think that they got the best quarterback in the draft. I really like the pick, and I know that Torrey does not like the pick of Zach Wilson, but I really do. I mean, this guy is an exciting talent. He's versatile. He's one of those guys who reminds me of a mix of Brett Favre and Jay Cutler. Just an all-around guy who he's going to make some quirky throws. He's going to throw off his back foot a lot, so he's probably going to throw a few interceptions here or there. But I really like the pick of Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, 3 years at BYU, 837 completions, threw for 7,652 yards, 56 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. I mean, those are pretty damn good numbers for 3 seasons at BYU. And so I'm going to go with Zach Wilson. I think that they got the best quarterback in the draft. They had a really, really good draft, which is very rare. How bad is it? There are 2 organizations in the NFL where we're like, damn, those organizations are horrible. And it was the Bears and the Jets. And both of them had really, really good drafts.
Yeah.
and a very unorganization like for both of those teams. But I really like everything about the Jets draft. They have like 9 or 10 picks.
Yeah, they had a lot of draft picks. Yeah. So let me ask you this question here, because Torrey and Wyatt, they've been breaking down the draft and they've been kind of playing down these non-Power 5 teams, saying, oh, they don't play very good competition. Oh, like who they play, like you kind of have to pad the stats a tad bit. All those stats that you read off for Zach there, that was not against Power 5 competition. Do you think that is going to hurt him in the NFL, and his learning curve is going to be a lot more severe, so we won't see him have a very good first year, but a second year he might finally start to progress?
No, I think that BYU gets a bad rap for the level of competition that they play. I think that, and not only that, but I think that BYU and Zach Wilson, you're still playing against teams that are the, I guess I would say the same level as you. So you're playing against like competition. You're playing against guys who were selected like you were, right, who were they go to the same type of college as you do. Like, they're not playing against Power 5 conferences, but that's not Zach Wilson's fault. He's playing against a competition that's in front of him, and he's absolutely destroying the competition that's in front of him.
All right, so Zach Wilson was your best pick. Who was your worst pick for the New York Jets?
If I had to pick one, I guess I would go with God, they really didn't have a bad one, but I guess if any of them, I'm going to go with the guy whose name I can't pronounce out of Florida State, the safety, Nasirildeen or something like that. You're nitpicking again because he was like a 6th or 7th round pick, so it is a nitpick pick for them. But if I had to pick one, that's the one I'm going with.
All right, so Tori, what about you? Who was the worst pick for the New York Football Jets in the 2021 NFL Draft?
I don't think this is going to be a surprise to anybody, but Zach Wilson was their worst pick.
Oh,
Zach Wilson is going to be a bust in the NFL. Zach Wilson is going to be terrible. I am not a Zach Wilson fan. I've watched his tape. I do not see what NFL teams see in this kid.
Is he going to be terrible because he's on the Jets and they can't bring up a quarterback? They can't develop a quarterback.
And
is he going to be?
That could very well be as well, because the Jets don't have a great track history of quarterbacks either. When Mark Sanchez is like your most recent success, and you got rid of him after like 5 years, that's not saying much.
But they got the best quarterback on the board.
No, they didn't, because Justin Fields was the second best quarterback in this draft.
I said they got the best quarterback on the board. You're right. Justin Fields was second best. Zach Wilson was best.
No, Trevor Lawrence was still the best quarterback.
No, he was not.
So Zach Wilson will be a backup after 3 years or out of the league.
What?
So
he is awful.
Let me throw this stat at you here.
So are your takes,
Tori. Zach Wilson completed 62% of his pass attempts over 20 yards. That is the best mark in FBS passer since the metric was first tracked in 2011. So
but he did it against Boise State, so who cares?
He had the best downfield pass.
Boise State probably shut him down
versus everybody. Don't you have to take that into effect here, like when you're saying he was the worst pick?
I don't. I'm looking at his body of work overall. I mean,
he said Boise State probably shut him down. They beat Boise State 51-17.
Did they? I don't know. I don't even know what their conference is called anymore. If it was the Western Athletic, is it the Mountain West Conference now? I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
It changes names.
So you gave us your best pick, or sorry, Combs. Who is your worst pick for the New York Jets?
Yeah, I did mine.
Oh, sorry,
Nasirildeen.
Yeah,
that's right. I'm sorry. So Combs, since you're already on full screen here, what is your draft grade for the New York Jets?
I'm going A. I think that these guys had a really good draft. I really love the pick of Zach Wilson. I love the pick of Vera-Tucker. Elijah Moore in the third round is going to be a really good pickup, a really good target for Zach Wilson. And Michael Carter out of North Carolina is going to be a solid running back in the league as well. So I really like everything that they did. So I went with an A with these guys.
And does draft make them better this year?
Oh yeah, for sure. Zach Wilson is probably, the best talent that they've had at quarterback. And I really like Sam Darnold. I really am a Sam Darnold fan. I think that their lack of being able to develop a quarterback really hurt him. But with a new regime in New York and the talent of Zach Wilson, which is at a higher level than Sam Darnold's was, I think that they can pull this one off.
All right, Tori, what about you? What is your draft grade?
I gave him a C. There again, I don't like the Zach Wilson pick. The only picks I really like is the Alijah Vera-Tucker pick. I really like the Elijah Moore pick. Those are two really good picks. Michael Carter wasn't terrible, but then you drafted 3 safeties.
You are the only person in the world that I've heard on draft grades that gave this team anything worse than a B+.
It's a C. Nothing else really moves the needle for me. I think Zach Wilson is not a good quarterback. Zach Wilson will set the franchise back another 3 to 5 years, because when you have a quarterback that fails like that, it does. It sets. You could have used those picks elsewhere because,
I hope they trade Zach. I hope they trade Zach Wilson to Green Bay for Aaron Rodgers.
Never happened. Maybe in 3 years.
So, by your C grade there, Tori, does this make them a better team this year, or are you still thinking they're 2-14 type of caliber?
They were 2-14. So it's almost, you can't say they're going to get worse, because worse is just about winless. Right. So obviously they'll probably be a little bit better. I don't even know who the head coach is for the Jets now.